This short video is intended as a supplement to content prepared for and presented at the October 2016 Art Collaborative Team Meetings. Because Art CTs meet on teacher work days and school planning days, we know it's very difficult for all art teachers to attend. I hope this information will serve to catch up anyone who was unable to attend their meeting. The content provided can also be used by teachers in any school department or teacher group as a guide for collaboration with the purpose of improving student learning. For our purposes in the 2016-17 school year, it's important to distinguish between art CTs and small groups. While an art collaborative team may work as a whole group, that's impractical for larger CTs and those with members spread across large geographic areas. CTs were encouraged to divide into smaller groups to facilitate this work. If you don't know what small group you're part of, contact your CT lead. Guidelines provided here are intended to lead small groups through a collaborative process focused on improving student learning. These guidelines are aligned with the work of professional learning communities and collaborative learning teams throughout FCPS schools, and should be used with these questions in mind. What do we want students to learn? How will we know if each student has learned it? How will we respond when students do not learn? And how can we advance the learning of all? Provided with the link to this video in Google Classroom were documents you may print or view to support your understanding. These include a document for each focus option and a work plan form. Pause the video at any time to review those forms or any of the information in these slides. Three approaches to collaborative work are provided to meet your needs and preferences. Information on each approach is available in the documents mentioned previously and reviewed in separate videos. You do not need to review the content for all three approaches. This short video will review the Focus on Pacing Guides. Small groups who choose to focus on pacing guides will have an opportunity to field test draft art pacing guides and provide helpful feedback that will be used to complete this project. Teachers are welcome to test portions of the pacing guide, including individual lessons, even when they're out of sequence. All feedback based on testing is very welcome. Teams who teach classes for which there is no draft pacing guide, like photography, digital art, or 3D art, are welcome to adapt this approach to create a pacing guide for themselves and to provide a draft to the Fine Arts Office. This approach, different from the other two, is focused on an ongoing Fine Arts Office project, and as such, it's a little less focused on using student performance data directly to improve the learning of your individual students, but rather uses the teacher and student interaction with the pacing guide content to improve these resources, which we hope in turn will improve instruction. Pause the video if you like and review the information provided in this table. There are a number of steps to consider in collaborative work focused on pacing guides. Work collaboratively to determine what can be done and in what order based on the specific work you select in your small collaborative group. Steps to consider include: review the draft pacing guides and identify portions that can be field tested in alignment with the instruction that has already occurred in your classrooms. Review suggested course sequence and unit lesson duration and provide suggestions for revisions. Develop a common understanding of lesson delivery with your team. Common understanding of the learning activities and instructional strategies described. If you have any suggestions as you go over that with your team, those suggestions can be provided as well. Review learning outcomes, the SBIs, defined for each instructional segment, and provide feedback on any that are missing or should not be included. Evaluate the portrait of a graduate I can statements for applicability to the instruction and provide suggested revisions as well. Deliver instruction aligned with the pacing guides and keep notes on revision suggestions that would make these documents better. Compare notes with your team, recording your experiences, and come to consensus on how to suggest revisions for the Fine Arts Office. And finally, provide feedback to the Fine Arts Office in a designated format that will be provided later in this year. With these process steps in mind, small groups should work together to develop a plan and document that plan on the small group work plan form. The form includes the scheduled dates for recommended Art CT meetings and small group meetings, including November 7th or 8th, February 6th, and April 17th. But keep in mind that CTs and small groups are welcome to schedule alternate dates and times to meet the needs of the members. To do this work effectively, your small group may need to meet or at least communicate more often than these few meetings. Use the in-between rows to indicate what you'll need to do between meetings, including, if desired, plans for additional meetings. The March 24th row is included to encourage you to consider sharing your work at the March 24th Art In-Service. March is a long way away, but we'd love to provide an opportunity to some small groups to share what they were able to accomplish through this process. Take a look at the sample schedule on the Focus On document provided. It includes examples of different approaches to meeting and collaborating, including alternate meeting times and locations. Please note, the sample schedule is in no way meant as a required schedule. It's only provided to give you an example of what a completed plan and process might look like. Through this content and the forms provided, we've attempted to give some structure to what is otherwise a wide open approach to collaboration. What you do with your small group is up to you, from choosing which approach to take, choosing what specific ways you'll work to improve student learning, and choosing when, where, and how you'll work together to accomplish this. Please let the Fine Arts Office know if you need any support in the work. We are here to help.